Hi, I'm Anna D'Amico.
And I'm Allison Fedorchak.
And you're watching the Vision News Network.
Welcome to the January edition of VNN.
We're so excited to be back on campus for the spring of 2021.
This month, Belmont unveiled a new memorial in honor of the enslaved laborers who worked on the property before the university was built.
Let's check out VNN's Jordan Chateau with that story.
I'm Jordan Chateau, here in the newly developed Freedom Plaza. Here, an installation has been built that aims to memorialize the enslaved people who once worked on the property on which Belmont now sits. I spoke with President of the Black Student Association, HANLEY McGee, to gain a better understanding of how this tribute came to fruition.
Dr. Susan West had meetings, Zoom meetings with all the students. It was like, hey, this is happening. What are your thoughts? Is this offensive? How is this wording right? Like everything was broken down to different groups of students and everybody was putting in their input and stuff like that.
McGee, who spoke at the virtual unveiling of Freedom Plaza, says that this memorial is one of many steps in the right direction towards making Belmont a more inclusive campus.
I think they're doing pretty well. They're being very inclusive of the students. They're hiring more diverse staff, more diverse programming. Like everything is being more inclusive and open to people of color in our culture, and it's pretty good to see.
I spoke with Director of Operations at the Belmont Mansion, Lauren BATTE, to gain a better understanding of the significance in knowing Belmont's history.
As an employee of a historic site, our job is to share the story of this place. And so this place is not just about the building and about the architecture, but it's about the lives led. These people, these Black enslaved laborers, helped construct this house, and they helped to maintain this house. They made this house run. So by having this house and by sharing the stories, we can share the stories of the people who lived here before, and we can help better understand where we've been and where we need to go.
For VNN, I'm Jordan Chateau.
This year's sports season has been unlike any other for all of Belmont athletics. Teams are not only focusing on games and practices, but also on following COVID regulations.
VNN's Hanley Riggs spoke with Coach Bart Brooks of the Belmont women's basketball team to see how the ladies are doing this season.
I'm Hanley Riggs here inside the Curb Event Center, which is home to the men and women's basketball team here at Belmont University, where there are many different new tactics being implemented to ensure the safety of the student athletes due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I was able to catch up with head coach of the women's basketball team, Bart Brooks, to see how they are adjusting to this new kind of normal.
Just from a team togetherness point of view, it's been really different and challenging because we've got 5 freshmen on the team this year. And during a normal year, those 5 freshmen would be going over and spending time with our upperclassmen in their apartments. We'd be together having team meals. They'd all be in the locker room together after their first really hard practice. Those 5 freshmen would be in a locker room with our older players, and the older players would be telling them, it's okay. Trust me, it was bad when I was a freshman too. And we didn't get to do any of that stuff this year.
Maintaining a sense of community has been especially hard, as many players have had to self-isolate during valuable practice time.
I mean, there's been a lot of players on our roster, our returning players especially, who have had their hands in helping these young guys figure things out. And it's been a big challenge for them. It's not easy for them. Everything they've got to do is on Zoom and FaceTime and text and phone calls. It's not, they don't get to have that personal interaction like normal years. So that's been a difficulty for our leadership as well. But I commend them for making a lot of effort to get it done still.
Despite the challenges this team has faced this semester, Coach Brooks remains grateful for the opportunity to work with this team and help them stay resilient.
It's been very challenging for me as a coach that I want to do everything for these players. And, I feel like there's very limited things that we can do. But really, I guess what it comes down to is I'm really extremely proud of our players for how they've handled it.
For VNN, I'm Hanley Riggs.
Thanks, Hanley. We're glad to hear that the ladies are staying safe on and off the court.
Freshman music business major Giuliana Moreno broke down her new song, Pink and Green. VNN's Madison Bowen takes us inside the song.
Hi, I'm Madison Bowen, and this is another Inside the Song. This month, I caught up with Giuliana Moreno to go behind her song, Pink and Green.
Was it the blush on your cheeks, or your voice when you speak, or your smile that's so, so sweet?
And what inspired your song, Pink and Green?
So, Pink and Green is about my girlfriend, and when we first started dating or hanging out, I told her that she reminded me of the colors pink and green, and she didn't really understand that. And so I wrote the song trying to explain like how everything she did or just like the way she was reminded me of those colors. Was it the color of the grass on our first date as I watched you paint the moon? Or honestly, I think it was you.
What about the first set of lyrics? Can you tell me about the meaning behind those?
So the first verse is sort of, I guess, my first impression of her. I'm saying how like the blush on her cheeks or just her voice or her smile reminded me of the color pink. And a lot of our first dates were like picnics in the park. And so I was saying how the color green was just very prevalent because we were always somewhere out in nature. And so the first verse is just kind of like an introduction to like who she is. 'Cause you're soft like a summertime breeze, like a bird singing in the trees. You're giving me all I need, pink and green.
Have a favorite lyric from the song?
Yeah, my favorite lyric I think is, and I know this is a simple song, but just because it's simple doesn't mean it's wrong. And if I try to say it all, it'd be infinitely long. And that's because I think it just shows this is a simple song, but it's very honest and true. And also, a lot of people don't really, I guess, agree with our relationship, but it just also goes to show that like this is just a simple like two people in love, and it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just very simple and good. You make me feel safe. And I know this is a simple song, but just 'cause it's simple doesn't mean it's wrong. And if I try to say it all, it'd be infinitely long.
For VNN, I'm Madison Bowen.
Thanks for watching the January edition of VNN.
We'll see you in February, and be sure to check out all the news at belmontvision.com.